Hey guys, Marlis here. Today I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite products, the DreamCatchers Crown and Glory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can use this. And we're going to go ahead and do this on Dorothy. So we're going to do bangs in 2 different ways and then show you even a little bit more exciting stuff at the end. So go ahead and stay tuned. So once you remove it from the box, you're going to notice it's in this nice little sheer bag. This is a convenient way for you to store and carry your Crown and Glory when you're not wearing it. So what you want to do is go ahead and remove it out, and you're going to notice there's a little netting over it. You can go ahead and remove that away. So then you're going to notice also on the back that there's a little plastic. That's just to keep it safe and in shape. So you go ahead and pop open the clips and you can remove that away. So the first thing you're going to want to do for your clients is go ahead and get it washed. Now for Dorothy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to purple dip these first, and then I'm going to root it so it matches her natural color. So to do a purple dip, and you can do this on any of our extensions, what you're going to need is a bowl of warm water, something to stir and mix it with, and your favorite purple shampoo. I love the from EC Color Dynamic Blonde. Absolutely beautiful. So you want to put a couple pumps in. And then I'm going to go ahead and stir it up. So before you start to wash it, you want to make sure to close the clips because you don't want the hair to get tangled in those whenever you are purple dipping. So now literally for purple dipping, all you're going to do is go in and out, and then I kind of work it through because there'll be a little bit of chunks still left in the purple shampoo, and that's totally okay. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I get that color that I want to achieve. And then I'm just kind of working that purple shampoo through a little bit. And I've got that color that I want to achieve, so I'm going to go ahead and get this rinsed and we'll be back to do the rooted color. So anytime you want to color the Crown and Glory, you want to make sure it's at least 60% wet. So after I went ahead and rinsed it, I did not use conditioner, and I made sure to towel dry it real good so that I've removed a lot of that moisture out. So I'm going to go ahead here on my tray. I have my foils laid out, and I'm going to go ahead and set my Crown and Glory down on it. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to lay it in the direction that I'm going to place it. Since I'm using this for bangs, I want to do it in a horizontal position. So now I'm going to go ahead and lay that out. And make sure and take your time with this process because you don't want to get it anywhere on the hair that doesn't need that rooted color. So I've went ahead and mixed up a little bit of 5 and 6N just to match her natural color. And I'm going to place it and feather it out. And just the way you would on a client's natural hair, you want to take a small slice section at a time to make sure that you are thoroughly applying that color. So now that I have it completely applied, I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and check it and go ahead and fade the line a little bit, so stay tuned for more. So now that it's processed for about 10 minutes, what I like to do is go ahead and take my spray water bottle. I'm going to spray right on the line where the color changes and just kind of use my finger and fade and blend that color, and then let it process for about 10 more minutes. So now I have that all blended out. I'm going to let it sit for about 10 more minutes. We're going to go ahead and wash it and condition it and get it completely dried. And make sure whenever you're washing these, you want to make sure to wash it in the direction that it's going to lay. You'll see what I mean whenever we return. So now I have it completely washed, conditioned, and I'm ready to get it dry. So what I want to do, this is often where I find the easiest way to go ahead and dry it, especially with bangs. You always want to make sure it's dried properly in the way that it's going to be installed. So I'm going to go ahead and take and turn the clip. You want to kind of pick it up and turn it in to make sure it's got a good hold. Then I'm going to take my comb and I want to comb it forward exactly in the way that I want it to style. So we're going to do 2 different types of bang cuts. We're going to go ahead and do curtain bangs, and then we're also going to do straight across. These ones are going to be straight across, so I want to make sure that it's coming straight down whenever I dry it. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that now. So now that I have everything dried in the way that we want to go ahead and get it styled, let's go ahead and get it applied to her and get it cut. So now we're going to go ahead and cut the straight across bangs. So what we want to do, just like before, we want to clip it right here on the front. So I'm going to take and I'm going to turn that in. Now, one of the things you want to remember with cutting the Crown and Glories, especially as bangs, because it's not connected to a life source, it's not going to grow. So you want to take your time cutting it to make sure you don't cut it too short in the beginning. So start a little bit longer and then you can easily work up. But once you've cut it too short, you can't go backwards. So make sure to take your time. So I'm going to go ahead and take that middle section and pull it down. And like I said, I'm going to start a little bit longer and then work my way up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and check my cut, but I'm going to use the flat iron a little bit just to kind of smooth the ends, because when you're cutting it very blunt, it's not going to lay quite natural the way it should. So I'm going to kind of play with the style a little bit and just make sure I have it set in a way that will look good for her and in the style that she would like. And it's amazing how this is completely changing her look. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I want to do just a little bit more right in between, just to soften it up some point cutting. So as you can see, this completely changes her look. But she did not have to have the commitment of completely cutting her bangs. There are so many options when it comes to the Crown and Glory. It completely gives her the change that she was looking for. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the second Crown and Glory that we've already pre-colored, and we're going to show you the second style of cutting. But first, go ahead and check out these amazing after photos. Now we're going to go ahead and cut and place the second Crown and Glory. As you can see, we already have it pre-colored just like we did the other one. And now with this, she has the volumes back here from her wefts, but right here around her face, you can see her hair is very fine. So this is if you want to get that much more volumized, almost like those curtain bang effect. So we're going to go ahead and clip it in. Now what I want to do, because unlike with the straight across bangs, those are just coming straight forward, but with this one, I need to actually line it up with her part line. So as you can see right here, here's the part with the Crown and Glory, and I'm going to place that right on her part line. And then I'm going to turn the clip in and clip that down. Double check myself, make sure I have it lined up correctly. And now I'm going to pick up and insert it on this side as well. Just got some little bitty baby hairs right there. And actually I want to move this forward just a tiny bit, so I'm going to readjust it. It's the beauty of these things, you can always readjust them as needed. There you go, so now we got that effect lining it up. So what I want to do, what I'm going to look at right here, is you can see she already has some natural layers in her cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match that down to where her layers naturally are. And usually I might do 2 to 3 passes. You can do this either with razors or shears. I like to use my shears for cutting. So you never want to elevate up. Make sure that you always hold it down in a fashion that falls very natural with the way their hair flows. So I'm probably going to start right here, a little bit below her brow bone. And again, I'm going to make a couple passes till I get it set exactly the way I want it to be. The thing is with cutting Crown and Glories, just like with cutting regular extensions, unlike a very normal structured cut, it's going to be very visual. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up away from her natural hair, and I want to add just a little bit of texturizing. You can either do this with texturizing shears, a razor, or just your shears like what I'm doing. I'm going to do a little bit of kind of slide point cutting to remove some of that extra weight. And I think once I get that curl, that's going to blend in just perfectly. So now I'm going to adjust to the other side. So again, you can see right here, there's the shortest layer of her own hair. So I want to match that down. Again, I'm going to start right beneath the brow bone. I like to take my time when cutting these because the clients are making that investment, and so I never just want to go in real heavy with my shears and then wind up taking more than what I intend to. So you always want to do it a little bit at a time so you can make sure you don't take too much. So again, I want to pick it up away from her natural hair. I'm going to do a little bit of texturizing on it. I just like to kind of pick it up and turn and fan it open, and then lightly use my shears. I'm not going to completely close them, but I just kind of remove some of that extra weight, just a few little pieces, and it makes such a difference. Okay, so now since I went ahead and did the cutting, I'm going to make sure that I still have it nice and snug, because a lot of times when you are cutting it or styling it, it might get loosened up a little bit. All you have to do is open and re-clip it. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do, because she does have some curls in her hair, is I'm gonna go ahead and add some natural wave to the Crown and Glory, and let's see how it all blends up to make sure I don't need to trim anything else. So now, as you can see, we've got it all styled out. I'm really happy with the way that it's laying around her face, and so is she. So now go ahead and check out these amazing after photos. I actually have health issues that make my hair very fine, dry, and brittle because of my thyroid. So what I've actually done is I've taken and sewed 4 of the Crown and Glories together, as you can see right here. So let me show you what my hair looks like from the back. It's actually very fine and thin, and this also allows me to not have to overcolor or process my hair, which is also very good for my thyroid. So again, just like I did with Dorothy, I'm gonna go ahead and line up my part. So I'm gonna go ahead and line it up to my natural part. And I'm gonna turn it in and clip it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold to the front, and I'm gonna turn here to the side, pull back, and clip down. As I said, this allows me to have that coverage 360. Then what I can just do, take a brush and brush it back into my existing style, and you can't even tell I'm wearing it. There is so many different ways that you can wear the Crown and Glories. Like I said with Dorothy, this is her little front piece. You can do it horizontally for the bangs. You can also do horizontal in the back if you want to get that coverage for people that maybe feel like their extensions might show, or you're just struggling with that. Or if you're needing coverage this way, you can actually turn them vertically and get more coverage from side to side. So if you would like to know more about the Crown and Glories, feel free to call us at 1-855-DREAM-TEAM or check us out at DreamCatchers.com.